I have some breaking news coming out of Chicago Sky insider Annie Costaball about whether the premier free agent Courtney Vandersloot has any chance of coming back home to Chicago. Let's get into it. Now, before I get into it, this article solidifies for me that Annie's inside information is coming directly from Jeff. Everything Jeff wants the people to know, she's putting it out there, and it's always with Jeff's benefit in mind. So I need you guys to keep that in mind when we're quoting her, because Jeff is clearly her guy, and I'm going to get into why. But let's get into whether or not the Chicago Sky can get Courtney Vandersloot, okay? Let's get into it. Now, Annie details on her roster that the Chicago Sky have the third most cap space out of all the teams, with the exception of the Valkyries and the Sun. They have $923,625 to spend. And of course, that's going to be very enticing to Courtney Vandersloot. But she goes on to say that not only does Courtney want money and to be compensated, right? Don't we all? She also was transparent that she wants to be on a competitive team where she's going to be able to be utilized. Now, I'm sure you guys all recall that although she started in the beginning of the New York Liberty season last year, towards the end, she ended up coming off of the bench and she wasn't used, I'm sure, the way she feels like she should have been. So, of course, now she's looking for a team where she's going to be able to have the ball in her hands. Finally, she says she wants to be on a team that takes care of their players. And that means facilities, treatment centers, the best of the best that she's used to in New York that other organizations have that the Chicago Sky doesn't. And Annie goes on to correctly say that the Chicago Sky can really only guarantee that she would have the ball in her hands, and of course that she would be compensated. They can't guarantee that she's going to be able to have the facilities that she requires, as our facility is not yet built. Nor are they going to be able to guarantee that we will be competitive enough for her liking. Now, here's where Annie tilts her hand that she's working directly for Jeff and that she really can't be trusted for being non-biased when it comes to things that would be detrimental to Jeff. She says that what the Sky do have is the right people in-house. Former Sky players, including 2021 Finals MVP Kahleah Copper, have basically attested and accredited Jeff for being a difference maker. Kahleah Copper just had an interview down there on Unrivaled, and she had nothing nice to say about the organization or Jeff. So I don't know what Annie's talking about. He does says that if Sloot wasn't here originally, that we would have no chance of getting her, and that basically the Chicago Sky need to make a big move to make us competitive. I don't know, get Jewel Lloyd. I don't know, cough cough, keep Kennedy, or we still don't have a chance of getting Sloot. It's still an uphill battle. Annie does note that she doesn't know who else that she could be meeting with, but that possibly the Lynx, the Aces, and the Storm, and the Valkyries could provide her the opportunity that she's looking for. Here are my thoughts. I think for nostalgia purposes, we do